Hey everybody, this is John Yatter here. Yeah, obviously. And as a follow-up to the recent video that I did about Jordan Peterson and, what was it? Pathetic Weasels? I wanted to answer the question, why not traditional families? Now, in response to men going their own way, men who reject marriage, reject cohabitation, in some cases reject dating, in some cases reject all unnecessary interaction with women, there has been for some considerable time a counter-narrative advocating the return to the traditional family model. You just need to try harder, work harder, find the right girl, get yourself on a career path, be a good man, and you can have the life you want. One in which men and women complement each other's lives. A life in which there is stability and family and commitment and loyalty and, all that other good stuff. And men advocating a MGTOW lifestyle tend to reject this advice, sometimes heaping the proponent of that traditional family path with withering scorn. But why? Isn't a life with a supportive partner and a stable family preferable to living with a constant vigilance against letting women into your life? Well, yes, actually. That would be preferable. It would be enormously preferable. But it's not real. Or, I guess it's real for some people, but stated more accurately, in order to get to that goal, you have to play a game of roulette with a success rate much lower than 30%, and a cost of failure of your entire life. And it's not just divorce, 70% of which is initiated by women. It's the fact that there are a growing number of criminal and predatory behaviors exhibited by women towards men which carry no consequence to women, and in fact are actively incentivized and encouraged by activists and academics funded with public money, that is, with your own taxes. In universities, where young people would naturally engage in sexual exploration, male sexuality and even male identity is being criminalized. Courts, you ask? Evidence? Due process? Presumption of innocence? These are relics and quaint ideals that are no longer relevant. In fact, they're obsolete and patriarchal. Legal courts themselves are bypassed in favor of much speedier and quicker paths to male guilt and female victim celebrity elevation, cash, and prizes. And why am I explaining this? Is there anybody so totally clueless that this actually needs to be spelled out? Women, in particular young women, compete with one another to be bigger victims. Actual victimhood? No. That's inconvenient, and it might require suffering, or, an injury, or a missed class, or a hangnail, or some sort of actual hardship. All that's needed is a story. And that's what you are for, my fine friend. You are the star. You're the villain. In fact, even if in the event you find your unicorn, why do you imagine that your loving wife will remain loving, trustworthy, or even your wife? The problem being that while it is, of course, virtuous to have loyalty, it's virtuous to place truth above personally advantageous fiction, it's virtuous to not make a false accusation in a divorce, it's generally thought of as immoral and unethical to engage in personal violence, all of that is true only for men. I guess it's true for women, obviously. In theory, yes, in theory. But in practice, people, and not just women, people believe what they are socially praised to believe, and they are generally against ideas that they receive social censure for. So, people do not actually believe in things because of facts or evidence. That's a nice illusion, but it's not true. No. People, and that includes you, by the way, believe in things when they are validated for expressing them. And that's why for women, acts of personally beneficial fraud against men are not considered immoral. but are actually tokens of social status and social currency. You don't need to have ever molested your kids or hit your wife, but when she says that you did those things, she not only gains advantage in a divorce, she gains moral and social status as the brave victim. It is not even a lie after the story has been told a couple of times and those retellings are accompanied by the praise of her friends. And when it is proven in a court that none of it was ever true and you are found innocent and she is widely known to be an opportunist fraud, she will still do the interview circuit as a heroic survivor, and you will still be denied employment in your professional field for the next 10 to 20 years. Change your name, move to a foreign country, forget about ever seeing your kids again, or maybe just save yourself a lot of that ongoing pain and top yourself. And maybe only 1 out of 20 women are as actually amoral and soulless as the ones that you keep seeing in the media playing this game. 1 in 20. But that's not even right. They're not immoral. They're not soulless. Because if you are a woman bombarded throughout your formative years with a narrative that all men are sinister rape monsters who have subjugated women for 1,000 years, then a single false accusation destroying the life of one supposedly innocent man, that's not immoral. That's payback. And you're a heroic girl for doing it. And if you've seen, 10 or 15 stories like this every year in the media, you have to be pretty fucking stupid to still want to put a live round in the chamber and put that gun barrel in your mouth with those Russian roulette odds. Which is why when the Man Up Brigade comes along and tells you that avoiding women is for sissies and that real men should stick that loaded revolver barrel in their mouth, your reply is probably not going to just be polite disagreement. Thank you for your kind attention, and as always, have a lovely day.